This is Pete Feenstra, GetReadyToRock.com, talking to Joe Bonamassa on Monday the 15th of February. I mentioned the date, Joe, because your career's taken off so fast we're trying to keep up with it. Everything seems to...
so, yeah. It's been a whirlwind, like, for 3 years now. I mean, like, we've had a real good run of success, and it's been a lot of hard work, though.
Absolutely.
But it's paying off. I mean, like I said, we were just talking about, like, you know, there's a bunch of young kids now cropping up, and they're, you know, drawing crowds, and it's a different crowd than you're used to seeing, and it's great. You know, there's a revitalized interest in the genre, which, you know, people were happy to write off 10 years ago and saying, you know.
And you're a catalyst in all this, of course.
Well, I like to think we had a little bit of to do with it, but again, I can't take all the credit. I mean, like, you promoted some of my first gigs here in the UK, and it you know, boils down to the fact you just got there and work, and if you do something that conviction, that it'll certainly come back and pay off, and I'm a living, breathing testament to that.
I think that's definitely the case, and long may it continue.
Oh, hopefully.
I'd like to throw a quote at you, if you may. It's a strange one. It's from your Twitter site, and you said, this is concerning journalists, so we'll get this one out of the way, but today all musicians who are interviewed on a semi-regular basis should take note on what not to say to any journalists.
Yeah.
You live, we learn. What did you mean by that?
We live, we learn. Well, you know, there's a very famous dude that did a couple of interviews that kind of didn't come off the way he wanted.
Okay.
And I read it and I was like, well, that's certainly how not to do that. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like when you're interviewed, you want to stay on message. You know,
yeah,
you want to. You have a. You know, I mean, you're having a conversation, and you want to be as forthright and honest as possible. But sometimes when you challenge the boundaries of what people will accept, then it becomes a bit of a. It was a bit of a shocker for me, because I know the guy, and I was like, wow, that's a bit of a tough spot now.
Okay.
But anyway, you know, I mean, I'm sure.
I don't want to drop that one on you.
No.
Let's talk about your career and the new album, Black Rock. 10 albums in 20 years is pretty prolific by anybody's standards.
10 albums in 20 years. Yeah.
You've also said down the line that I don't think I've ever had an original thought in my head, and yet you've had 20 years now of producing music, so you've got something there.
I'll tell you what a great original thought is. The definition of a great original thought is when B.B. King goes, bah! And that's a great original thought. Yeah. I don't have that in me. I don't think I do, but maybe one of these days I'll come up with something like really earth-shattering. But yeah, I mean, 10 albums in 20 years we've been working. But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like it's been very natural. It's like, you put out a record.
Was there a point during that time when you first realised you had your own style, when you felt, this is what I do?
I still think I'm searching for that as well.
Okay.
I think I have an inherent style in me that people can recognize. Go, I think that's Joe's playing, but
I think people would agree with that. I mean,
I think it's slowly getting there, but I hear it still as the combination of influences. Which is, you hear yourself differently than others
receptors
hear you. Yeah, so with that said, I think we've had you know, good luck in kind of interpreting things our own way, and kind of making them our own and updating them for.
But of course, you did drag a lot of people's attention back to the old British invasion thing.
I did,
which nobody else had done for years. And
being American was strange enough. Now it's oddly enough, you get guys like Davey Knowles, who's
based in the States.
Based in the States now, and he's the English guy reminding the Americans of their own heritage and music. You know, and 5 years ago, you know, conversely, I was the guy who came over here and said, hey, remember Peter Green? He was good. You know, Clapton was great then. But you know, I expected when I first came over here, 6 years ago, when I first came over here, that every kid would be on the street corner here
was listening to that stuff.
Was with Les Paul and the Blues Breaker. That's how it was. When I was shocked to find it wasn't. And I was like, well, there's a bit of an opportunity here to kind of, you know, because in America I was like doing this British blues thing, and it was like, people are like, what? Oh, come on, no, please, please. You know,
so you had to come to Europe to kind of make that connection.
I had to come to Europe to get successful in America. Like now that with all this stuff going on over here, I go play 2,000 seat venues in America, and we went, this is great. And I was like, well, we've been doing this 5 years longer in America than we've done over here. But you know, it takes us a while to catch on sometimes.
You've also won, of course, the prestigious Breakthrough Artist of the Year award.
I did.
Does that mean that you'll focus more intently on trying to cross over your playing style to a bigger audience?
No, I've always done stuff without intent. I just do stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that Scott and everybody at Classic Rock was nice enough to give me that award is fantastic. We joked about it. In fact, it only took me 20 years to do it, to be a breakthrough artist.
But that's to do with the style of music perhaps that you're playing.
And it's the style of music that I will continue to play. I mean, I'll never change what I do fundamentally, because you know I never expected to make it to the venues that we're making it now. I always wanted to, and I tried real hard, but I will never compromise what I do for the sake of an arena or something like that. If it ever happens, then it's great. It'll be done on our own terms.
Yeah.
Okay. It won't be done from a radio or a pop hit. I just refuse.
Although presumably you have to make adjustments for your live situation rather than the recording situation.
Yeah, you have to like
moving from clubs to theatres as you're in now, and arenas.
And everything is an adjustment, and you know, and you have to show your fans that you're reinvesting in your show. So you have to have better lights and better sound and better everything, and that costs money. And people ask, well, why the tickets more? Yeah. Well, see this light show? Gotta bring it, gotta run it. You know, it's like sound company and everything. So I mean, it's all a business, and it's all, but it's also really trying to reinvest into the fans' experience, and it's all about the fans have put me here. The same 100 people that saw me at the Running Horse in Nottingham, you know, were at the gig at the Royal Concert Hall. You know, so to me, it's like that's important to show them growth and to show them we're not just cashing in. And
quantum leap, really.
It was fun. It was a great gig.
The whole thing. Let's talk about Black Rock, the new album. Which has been regarded in some quarters as a step towards world music. Yet it seems to me there seems to be a three-part split there between hard rock style of A New Day Yesterday, a restatement of your blues roots perhaps, and also
a bit of world stuff.
And you and producer Kevin Shirley's pursuing the mutual aim of pushing musical boundaries.
I mean, the reason why we had the Greek guys on there is because we're in Greece recording. I mean, if we did this in Miami, we wouldn't have the Greek guys, you know? So we're in Santorini. We have this kind of, you know, worldly vibe going on. We had a couple of tracks that actually lent itself to that vibe. So the guys came in from Athens, and it was a great experience. We also wanted to do a rock record, and we also wanted to like re-establish like when we're still youthful, we're still hungry, and we're still like looking to push the boundaries a little bit, and we're not just gonna like kind of rest on the laurels of Alba Hall and John Henry and just, you know, we could have milked that for a couple of years, and it's like, you know, like didn't want people to say, well, that's all he's about, and he's gonna just, you know, it's a big moment, and he's gonna just come around again.
Taking a sideways step from that, so you just mentioned the Albert Hall there. I was going to ask you later on about where do you go when you've actually reached a pinnacle at your career at that point. Do you have to readjust and refocus your goals and stuff like that?
I don't think you have to you know, you have to come up with new goals, but the main goal has always been the same. It doesn't matter. I mean, Albert Hall was a great moment for me. It was a pursuit of a lifelong dream, admittedly. It was with the venue and the guy who came to jam, or even both guys, you know, Paul Jones as well. That was certainly a high watermark for any musician could have ever set out to accomplish. Okay. With that said, I don't firmly believe that one gig will define your whole life.
No. But it's a landmark,
to me, it's like it's a landmark one, though, and I'll remember it and show my grandkids one of these days and go, "This is what Grandpa used to do before his left ear stopped working." You know what I mean? So this is it was a great moment, but my goal as an artist has always been pretty much the same: is to make quality records, bring the blues to the best, you know, the widest audience we can, without compromising, you know, without compromising what we've done. You know, and compromising the music. So it's like, to me, it's like blues can be mainstream if it's done for the right reason and connects to the right audience.
Okay.